I have a girl brain but a boy body. This is called transgender. I was born this way.
When I was very little and my mom would say, "You're such a good boy," I would say, "No, mama, good girl." At first my family was confused. They always thought of me as a boy.
Then one amazing day, everything changed. Mom and Dad took me to meet a new doctor who asked me lots and lots of questions. Afterward, the doctor spoke to my parents and I heard the words transgender for the very first time.
This video is brought to you by TatumStore.com. TatumStore.com. Get the merch. Link in the description section. This is one of our most popular shirts. I still think the Dun is a little more popular than this one, but not a gun-free zone. It's also have reflective properties on it, just like a sign would, so it's reflective. Get you a shirt. Link is in the description section, and we'll put a code right here so you can get a discount just because I love you guys and I appreciate your support. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get notifications. Y'all already know what to do. Like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, and ladies, welcome back to the Officer Tatum Show. I want to finish talking about that article that I was just reading. The school allows reading of LGBTQ books to second graders despite state law requiring parental consent. It says a Missouri elementary school allowed a parent to read the transgender promoting children's book, I Am Jazz, to second grade class without first informing other parents. Although state law requires school districts to notify parents beforehand about lessons on sexuality.
I have a girl brain but a boy body. This is called transgender. I was born this way.
When I was very little and my mom would say, "You're such a good boy," I would say, "No, mama, good girl." At first my family was confused. They always thought of me as a boy.
Then one amazing day, everything changed. Mom and Dad took me to meet a new doctor who asked me lots and lots of questions. Afterward, the doctor spoke to my parents and I heard the words transgender for the very first time.
Mom and Dad told me I could start wearing girl clothes to school and growing my hair long. They even let me change my name to Jazz. Being Jazz felt so much more like being me. Mom said that being Jazz would make me different from the other kids at school, but that being different is okay. What's important, she says, is that I'm happy with who I am. Being Jazz caused some of the other people to be confused too, like the teachers at school.
At the beginning of the year, they wanted to use the boys' bathroom and play on the boys' team in gym class, but that didn't feel normal to me at all. I was so happy when the teachers changed their minds. I can't imagine not playing on the same team as Casey and Samantha. Even today, there are kids who tease me or call me by a boy name or ignore me altogether. This makes me feel crummy. Then, I remember that kids who get to know me usually want to be my friend. They say I'm one of the nicest girls at school.
I don't mind being different. Different is special. I think what matters most is what a person is like inside. And inside, I am happy, I am having fun, I am proud. I am Jazz.
Let me just give you a quick understanding, or just read a little bit of this article to give you a basic understanding. It says because other parents didn't know about the class reading of I Am Jazz, they couldn't opt their 7-year-olds out of learning about transgenderism at school. This is what's like, I don't know where to go from here, man. People aren't strong enough to overcome this. Like, Dennis Prager was saying something in his speech last night about the fact that I think it was I forget what the Russians, that the Gestapo, and they had that to contend with, and therefore they were coerced into, socialism. And he pretty much said that we don't have that, and we still getting coerced into socialism. So it's understandable, but if you had an army that will kill you and do things to you if you don't acquiesce, and we just acquiescing on just threats, we acquiescing on manipulation. Like that, people should go to jail for reading transgender books to kids in school. And it's not an accident. They're trying to infiltrate the school and get your kids to be trans so they can diddle them when they get older. That's exactly what this is coming down to. This is coming down to pedophilia. I don't know why people are like not understanding that. This is not really about gay marriage. It's not really about trans, bi, none of that. This is about pedophilia. This is about deranged, sexually perverse people wanting to sexualize children so they can diddle them easier as they get older. And generations of kids dysfunctional and sexually, I would say, manipulated. So they're easier targets. Why do you say that, Mr. Tatum? Look at the progression, ladies and gentlemen. Homosexuality used to be a mental illness in the 70s. They've changed that statute from a mental illness. Transgenderism was a mental illness. They've changed that status of mental illness to normalize. Because if they can normalize the sexual deviancy, then they can begin to pass that sexual deviancy down to young children. And if they get the young children adapted, then they can manipulate them. That's why we see it in the schools. There's no reason for the government to be involved in transgenderism. What's the point? And then even if the government was, there's no reason for the transgenderism in books and sex to be taught to little kids. Why are they having such a concerted effort to do that? It's because they want to diddle your kids one day. And if you're not smart enough as a parent and you put in your career before your child's safety, your child will be a victim. And I'll say this too. And Dennis said this in his speech last night. He was talking about this, about your kids going to college and becoming dumb leftists. You should be mindful that you may need to pull your kid out of public school. And if we all pull our kids out of public school, let them come after us if they want to, then we won't have a generation of indoctrinated idiots. And then I would not encourage my kid to go to college. Only reason my kid to go to college is to play sports. Unless he was trying to study something that's going to master his performance and he's going to get a job right out of college, like a lawyer, a doctor, or something, whatever. He ain't going just to go to college just because he need that on his resume. Because he's going to go there, and as conservative as my son is, because my son watches my videos and he thank God he agreed with what his dad be saying. But they go to college and get weird. And you spend $100,000 just to lose your kid. And they come back home and think they smarter than you and think you've been beating them their whole life. They're not beating them, proverbially beating them. That you've been taking advantage of them their whole life and you ain't never gave them freedom. And you are a closed-minded bigot. And you didn't raise that kid for 18 years and they come back stupid. These are the things that we need to be really thinking about. And as a mass group of people, we should have our vested interest in removing our kids from a system that don't support them anymore. I still have to go down to my son's school, obviously, because my oldest son live out of state, unfortunately. And every time I say that, his whole life, it just boils my blood. However, that's the situation that I'm in. I have to go down there every year and try to meet these teachers and make sure that they're not teaching them foolery. Because if I don't do it, nobody will. Unfortunately, I honestly think that people on the other side would love for him to be trans or something. But I have to go down there as daddy and say, I want to know what y'all teaching them. What is the curriculum? I'm opting him out of that. And if I have to come up here again, there's going to be some furniture moving up in here. My son ain't doing none of that gay stuff. I know my son. My son ain't gay. So if at any point in his life he start coming to me talking weird, I'm going to know somebody that either did something to him or he's been manipulated. But fathers, mothers, you need to go check on your kids because you live in your life watching Real Housewives every night, and then your kid come home in a couple of years and you wonder what happened to him. Now he want to wear a dress. And you think little Johnny has been just a good boy and he was just going to raise himself. The school have a way of understanding psychology and manipulation, and they use those tactics on your children. even to the point of if they don't make them gay and confused, they're going to make them young people with no accountability. They get in trouble at school. Like my son's school, I called up there. I said, what is his citizenship? I see his grades. What is his citizenship? Well, we don't do citizenship. So you're telling me I don't know how he's behaving in class. Y'all don't judge his behavior in class. When I was in school, they judged your behavior.